All right, happy Friday night, everybody. Hope you're having a great day, a great end of the week. We're going to jump in with you guys tonight on Twitter X, on our YouTube channel, and on Facebook Live for a little bit. We're going to go quick. Friday nights, we might go the full distance. We'll go as long as the conversation is good. It's really up to you, completely up to you, because I know everybody's busy on a Friday night. Now we're in the Arctic Air studios today. The clouds in West Texas and everything, you're walking around going, I feel colder than this. It was still like in the lower 70s or whatever. That's fine. That's cool. Rain is on the way. And rain is on the way, and then cold temperatures are on the way. So you're going to want to call the bear. If your heating unit is not up to snuff, get a hold of them early. Don't wait till it gets really bad, in December or January or anything. Call the bear, callthebear.com. Now, tonight we get your Texas Tech, Iowa State score predictions. What do you think is going to happen? Can Texas Tech spring the upset? Did you invoke the dad tax or the mom tax, depending on, your pronouns and how the hell you operate around your house? How was the Halloween candy haul this week? And then basketball ready? Bracketville. My friends at Bracketville, Dave Almond. I'll tell you where they got Texas Tech right now going into the season. So all of that tonight on the show. You guys jump in on Twitter, on X, on YouTube, and on Facebook Live. Thanks to United Supermarkets, all of your conversation, all of your chats, everything will be heard. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. Everything we do, we archive at TheRaiderland.com. You were there this morning for the Raiderland Hot Links, the freshest, hottest links from Raiderland and beyond. Cool stuff, questions, most Texan thing you have done this week. What is it? You tell us. What's the most Texan thing you've done? We don't even have to put it in the slug line anymore. On Fridays, you tell us the most Texan thing you have done this week. And then Texas Tech and Iowa State. Can Texas Tech spring the upset? Is it possible? Can they do it? Or like now, 12.5 point, 13.5, 13.5, I think this morning. I haven't even bothered to look. You tell me, give me your score predictions tonight. What do you think is going to happen? It's up to you. All right. Now, thanks to United Supermarkets, you guys can get it on the chat line. We're brought to you in part tonight by Domino's Pizza, Domino's.com. You got a weekend worth of football. It could rain. You don't want to get out. Get the pizza in now. Get the app, Domino's Pizza, Domino's.com. And, of course, Sideline Provisions, one of our great sponsors. Doesn't matter whether it's home or road. You want to look good watching Texas Tech. Go over to Quarter 4. That's the old Cardinal Sports Center. They're on South Loop 289 and Slide Road. Go to the Sideline Provisions section. Ask for it by name. And then get some cool-looking apparel. All right? You can rock it tomorrow during the game. Maybe you're hanging out watching it tomorrow at the Reserve or Gators Bayou or something like that. But look good while you're doing it, thanks to Sideline Provisions. All right. Prediction tonight. You give us your scores. I'm going to give you mine. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Halloween candy. How did we do for those who have youngins? What was the candy du jour? What were they handing out last night? What did you take? Craig, talking box is on. Indeed, it is. Thank you for that. Happy anniversary, me and Tessa. Indeed, happy anniversary to us. Our marriage is now old enough to drink. Have a little champagne toast tonight. So it's a good day. Jeff rocking in early on going Iowa State 38, Tech 16. I think you're high on one end and low on the other end. I truly do. I'm not going to be picking Texas Tech to win this game. I mean, I'm a rational, intelligent person. I don't blow smoke up your skirt just because most of you probably don't wear one. And that would be really awkward if I was going to do that. Do I think Texas Tech can play this one within the number? That if I were a wild and crazy riverboat gambler and you were giving me 13.5, would I take Texas Tech in this? I think I would. There's still a chance for rain and weather, and check that out in the morning before you get fiduciary involvement in this game, and make sure you know what you're looking at. But if that's the case, it's going to compromise scoring. It's going to keep it close. And remember, low totals, underdogs. High totals, favorites. Low totals, underdogs. So if you want to get correlative and go all that way, then you say if it's going to be a lower scoring game, whether it's weather or whether it's defense or otherwise, then you say I like the underdog. I like the underdog in this game. I like Texas Tech not to win. Let's say they're going to win. That's crazy talk. But this is one of the biggest point spreads we've seen in the Big 12 this year in conference games. I don't know, we have recency bias and Tech gacking up games against Baylor and TCU, but Tech's not that bad. And Iowa State's not that good. They're good. Bank is a good quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He doesn't put their team behind the chains too much. They do what they do. They run a great defense, and they've got defensive backs that will, you're going Steve Atwater, Ronnie Lott type stuff. Big, fast, strong, physical backs that can come up, support the run, and still cover out. That's really what separates them, I think, right now, is their linebacking core and their secondary on defense. And they run the triple, odd stack, triple stack. 3 down, 3 backers, and then you morph and mix and you do what you want to do after that. You can call it the triple cloud, which is totally really not what they do. But, I think that's on like one of the video games, triple cloud. So people got to, if it's not on a video game now, if it's not on Madden, NFL or the college deal or something, then a lot of media people don't know how to have discussions about defensive schemes and offensive schemes. So I get that. I understand that. I do want to hear about the Halloween candy that your kids brought in. What was the candy of choice this year? Last night, what was that? And then we'll talk about basketball and Bracketville. We pay attention to Bracketville.com, Bracketville.wordpress.com, or Bracketville WordPress, whatever. And then Hoops HD. Those are the only 2 sites we care about when it comes to RPI, seeding in the NCAA tournament, what's going to happen. And I'm telling you right now, Dave Almond, they've taken a liking to Texas Tech early on. I like where they've got them. But I want your score predictions. I want that stuff in. Anything else that you want to talk about on a Friday night? Most Texan thing you've done. Maybe it was stopping the mail carrier on a dirt road before they got to your mailbox saying, "Man, we got anything good?" No? All right. Let's see. Jakob. Tech 34-23. If raining, we run it too much. Iowa State 31-20. So going Tech 34-23 straight up. Now, if it's raining, they run it too much in Iowa State. I think if it's raining, Tech has a better chance. I totally flip it around and say if it's dry and it's a fast track and it's a neutral course. We've got the Breeders' Cup this weekend. Everybody excited about that? Yeah, Breeders' Cup going on. I flipped it around. If it's rainy, I would say Tech 30-24 or something, if you want that. Are you moderately cool or moderately old? Yes, I am. 100%. Jeff, earlier. Rhetoric getting in. Where are we? Oh, there's my Twitter people. All right, so thanks to United Supermarkets, who supports Texas Tech, unlike some grocery stores around here that take your money and send it downstate to other places. United Supermarkets and Market Street, great supporters of Texas Tech. Awesome supporters. Taking care of all the communications, what we call the chat line, the old text line, all that stuff. You guys, whether you're on X, YouTube, and Facebook Live, you get in thanks to United Supermarkets. And by the way, if you're watching on Twitter X, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, even if you don't watch it there. My friends on YouTube, Go subscribe to the Facebook deal, even if you want to watch on YouTube. Grow it, make it grow. All right, Cyclones 38, Tech 21. That's a legit fair market value score. You got 2 touchdowns in there, a little bit plus. That game is played on a dry field, in my opinion, that there's no weather involved. Now, we've talked yesterday that it's going to be Baron Morton getting the start, but how long can Baron Morton go if he gets hit? And then how different do you look when it's Wills, not Wills Hammond? He is now Wills. They love how much he runs. That's what they call him. It's like Donald Trump here. That's what they call him, Wills Hammond. I can't do Donald Trump impersonation at all. You feel good if something weird happens to Baron Morton, that you feel like, okay, you got some options, and there's probably a package ready to go. Craig bought another pair of boots from Boot City. Look at this man go. Down to Boot City, one money-saving mile outside the West Loop on 19th Street. Square toe, traditional. What'd you get, man? I really got to go over there and get a new pair or 2 of boots. Cody, if you're watching, I really got to come see you. We're gonna be in Red River next week. Breaking news: the show will emanate forth and come to you from Red River, New Mexico, beginning on a Monday morning for the next foreseeable weeks. But after that, I got to get over to Boot City. So I look at this game with Texas Tech and Iowa State, and Iowa State's a better team. They're a more complete team right now. I like, man, their defense is really good. Their offense just doesn't screw around. They are who they are, and that's one thing under Matt Campbell, that they will commit, whether it's 18 tight ends or whether it's this or that or Breece Hall. They commit and they dictate to you that we're going to do this, and you got to figure out a way to stop it. I respect that. When Texas Tech embraces that idea and dictates with what they have, well, things will be interesting. This is not a great football team in Iowa State. This is a very good to very good. I mean, where are our assignations, right? Great, very good. Like we're grading sports cards, right? Hold on a second. I got something going on there. Yeah. There we go. Much better. You know, like we're grading sports cards and you have fine, very whatever. But they just go out and they play good football because I think they commit to who they are when they're good, when they have the talent to do it. The last few years, Iowa State up and down a little bit. I mean, they're not going out and winning 10 games every year, but they stay true to who they are. When they've got the right people to make it work, they make it work. Ryan, defense is a lot better if Mohorn can play the whole game. Mohorn. Let you guys work through that for a second. Round toe, Tony Lama, Buckaroo. Good. Ain't nothing wrong with Tony Roma. Tony, you got the idea. Tony Roma's. Let's go get some ribs. I'm staying at Homer here. Tech 31-28 with game-winning field goal. Not at the last second like Garabay's, but with a minute 15 left, defense holds. Hey, go be a Homer. You know? Do what you want to do. Go be a Homer. That's okay. Never bet that way though. All right, don't do that. Well, howdy to you there. Glad you said howdy. Aggie fan chiming in. Breaking news: Indy loves McDonald's barbecue sauce. That's one of our dogs, Indy. She was found wandering around South Indiana Street in Lubbock, Texas, several years ago. So she loves McDonald's barbecue sauce. Well, now we know. Didn't know. James on the prediction: Iowa State 35-14. See, I still think that's too high. Too high and too low. I think Texas Tech is going to be covering this game. go a few more minutes. It's Friday night. We're not going to go too long. I think Zach Kittley gets back to what you do with it, which is Taj Brooks. You don't expose the quarterback. I would like to see the tight ends involved more. I would like to see the full house backfield more in short and other yardage situations. That I would say we're going to do to you, Iowa State, what you do to a lot of teams. We're going to make you cover and account for a bunch of big guys with your smaller guys who may be faster, but they're smaller. We're going to do that. I think this game grinds down, and into a pedantic affair of football, which I love. And I'm going 31-21 Iowa State right now. So Texas Tech in the cover zone, but I don't see it. I don't see Iowa State hanging up. I mean, I know you're saying 35. That's 4 more than what I've got. I don't think there are going to be that many possessions in this game. Now, one would say, don't matter how many possessions they got, Tech gives up scores of 85 yards on 2 plays. Bingo, you're right, correct. You're a smart person. But Iowa State don't play it that way. Iowa State don't play it that way. All right. Reckham, I keep forgetting to ask this question. What's in the cup? Sweet tea? Do you always pour the same drink? No. And when they pay me money, I'll tell you exactly 100% what's in here. Until they pay me money, you don't get to know what's in there. I have no faith in our O-line. You're a smart man. You should not have faith in the offensive line. The offensive line, suboptimal. They mish and mash and try to get guys out there, and they're just not very good. And then we can have the argument over talent injuries or otherwise. Scheme, you're a second offensive line coach in the Joey McGuire era, but the offensive line is not good. And, you go, well, how could that be? You got one of the best running backs in America. They got to have a great offensive line. Do you remember how many Hall of Famers were on the offensive line for Barry Sanders? Some running backs do it on their own. Taj Brooks does. What's the line? Haven't seen it today. 13.5 was what I saw earlier. Unless it has changed, and I'm freely admitting I have not looked since I got back to the Arctic Air Studios to see if it had changed or anything else. So I got 31-21. And a lot of this has to do with, again, the pace of play of this game. That Iowa State will probably have 1 or 2 big plays, maybe resulting in touchdowns or short fields. That's what the Tech defense does. They're not designed to do that, but you'll probably just give up 1 or 2. So there's about 10 points that are cheap. So that gets you to 31. You take that off, we're at 21, then you grind it out and do that. Now, Texas Tech offensively, the 21 is pretty much predicated on Baron Morton being out there, play action, punching deep, and them getting away from the sideline. And you say, all right, we're going to go ahead and really maximize what we have. We're going to utilize Taj Brooks for his 127 to 137 yards of rushing, but we're going to utilize that with play action passing. We're going to punch them. We're going to get some big plays. If they don't do that, it don't matter. And I'm still waiting to hear in the minutes that we have. Might go all the way tonight. Might not go all the way tonight to 7:00. I want to know the Halloween candies that y'all picked up. What do you got? I reckon then it must be the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. I don't drink coffee. I hadn't had a cup of coffee since I was 4 years old, maybe 5, with Mr. and Mrs. Childers in Amarillo, Texas. Hate coffee. Iowa State 45, Tech 10. Legit answer, legit score. Good teams win, great teams cover. Texas Tech will cover. Let me put it this way. If Tech gets beat by more than 2 touchdowns, I will consider that 100% a flat-out disappointment. Obviously, depending on how the game plays out. Never know. You can get a late weird cover or something like that. But if it's a legitimate, like 3 touchdown win by Iowa State, I look at that schedule up there on my dry erase board that it's a new month and I got to go and change that tonight and update that. Good Lord. Got one of them, 90-day planner dry erase boards over there. And all of a sudden, you're just like, January's up there? Got November, December, and January? Holy crap. If this is a 3-score game, and not because Iowa State's like not a good team or whatever, but they just don't really win games like that. That's really not a good sign. I hate to say it, Iowa State 43-21. The McGuire continues this downward spiral. I don't know why you have to hate to say it. Just be honest, be a straight up intellectual man, and just say if you think Tech's going to get beat 43-21, then you say it. Again, I think that's too high on one side, right on what I got. I got Tech scoring 3 touchdowns. Saw a lot of nerds. Sorry. So I Ronbergundy through these things. Ronbergundy is a term we use in the media when you are, if you're on a teleprompter, it means you've not seen the script before you're going live and it's scrolling through on the teleprompter. And don't put anything on there. Ronbergundy will read it. So I Ronbergundy through almost all of your comments that I've not really seen it much before I start reading it. And I started Ronbergundy this one and it just read completely wrong. Saw a lot of nerds, which is great. Saw a ton of the Halloween mini bag of cheese balls, which is so weak and lazy. Also, the popcorn ball is the worst. So cheese balls, like people are giving out like pre-made or these like cheese balls that you buy at a store. I ain't taking food in 2024 that anybody made at all. Nerds are still good. I like nerds. Tech on the money line, 28-27. Look at that, Damon rolling out, flopping them into a wheelbarrow, saying going money line. Take it. I don't even what is Tech on the money line right now? Plus 225, plus 300. I'm trying to do my math. I didn't even look. He just said he didn't want points. He's taking Tech straight up. He wants money line, 28-27. Tell me what the number is on that. I'll send you $5. Let's get crazy. You're nuts. Craig, don't forget to set your clocks back tomorrow night. That's right. It's fall back, which is really weird. I was out one night. We were at a Lone Star Oyster Bar years ago, decades ago, and 2 o'clock rolls around. We got to turn the clock back. We do. And then, an hour later, we're doing it again. The next thing you know, it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. And, apparently that's not legal. You only get to do it one time. They should have been more specific. We kept hearing them say, hey, you got to turn your clock back 1 hour at 2 o'clock. Well, we did. Here's to Trish and the whole crew in the mid-90s at Lone Star Oyster Bar. Yeah, don't forget to set your clocks back. It's November under Joey. What the hell, Tech? 30-21. Tech can win this game. They absolutely can. I'm not going to pick them to because that would be intellectually dishonest. I would not be doing you the right service if you just showed up and, hey, every week, God, Hyatt loves Texas Tech and he's got a degree from Texas Tech. I do. It's over there in the corner in some sort of deal by my filing cabinet over there. But I mean, I really do. And every week you pick Texas Tech, and that's what we want to hear. I try to give you not what you want to hear, but intellectual honesty. And Texas Tech is not as good as Iowa State right now. They shouldn't beat them. Straight up, they shouldn't beat them. But the cool thing is they get to play a game and weird stuff happens. I don't think it's going to happen. That's why I say 31-21 Iowa State. But that means if you bet Texas Tech, take the points, you win. So if your team's going to lose, at least make money betting them and doing that. Um, I could do some Ames, Iowa stories before we get out of here tonight, but I don't think we have enough time. And I really am disappointed in the number of people sounding off on candy that they accrued last night. See, my kids in college, we don't trick or treat. We hadn't trick or treated for years. Nobody comes by our house because you can't get to where we live. So it doesn't matter. So I was kind of intrigued by what was the thing, what was the candy this year, and what were you stealing, out of that with the dad tax. Really disappointed on some of the references there. I reckon, what if our kids received a full size candy bar? How do we dad tax that? Reese's, for instance, they get a cup, I get a cup. Yeah, they get one, you get one. See, if they're getting full size candy, then they're definitely in the top earner of candy. So you're going to cream them at 30, the marginal tax rate is going to be over 50% on that. I mean, did they file an LLC or anything or an S corp before they went out? I don't think they did, so they don't have any protection on that. So pretty much what they're doing is they're rolling in at the end of the night, rocking a 1099. And if they got full size candy bar, boom, cut it in half. They got Reese's peanut butter cups, you get one. They get one. And I mean, don't even get me started. Uh, you know, no, talk about a death tax, but you know, got capital gains. We got a capital gains tax on that costume we bought you. You made money off that. Well, bucket you're holding. You got a capital gains deal that we've got to understand and realize. Basketball. 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 Oh, yeah. Basketball. Starting. Bracketville.wordpress.com. 26 in the country on their seed line. 26 on the seed line. That's really good early on. Dave Almond doesn't screw around. And I think I've still got that up in a window. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can bring that up and find it. So, yeah, there we go. So seeds 1 through 24 on Bracketville in the early go. Big 12 teams, I'm going to roll through this. Bama 1, cheating sons of guns. Kansas 2, Duke 3, Houston 4, UConn 5, Gonzaga 6, Carolina 7, Iowa State 8. Good Lord, this is a great league. Baylor 9. Rolling through that first part. Anybody else in the league? No. And then Texas Tech sitting at 26 on the early seed line preseason. You take that and you run with that. That's really, really good. That's higher than Texas Tech has been on Bracketville, probably even pre 2019. I'll email Dave Almond and find out if that's the highest he's had them, because Texas Tech has traditionally not started out that way. People, basketball people love the composition of this roster. You can play it any way you want to play it. So we'll get into that next week when we're in Red River. A lot more deeper basketball on that. Trust me. So 26 on Bracketville. Correct. Empty nester here, some candy. Yeah, it stinks, I have not talked peapod tax on the grandsons yet. That's funny. Rock, make it happen. Yeah. I mean, that could be like even more than the dad tax, right? You know? Dang it. All right. We don't have time to tell the Ames, Iowa stories about restaurants and different places and the baseball press box, which was a Swiss chalet. I am so old. Here's how old I am. I'm probably one of the either youngest or oldest, depending on how you look at it, people who have actually broadcast, called on the radio games from Iowa State. They dropped the program in 2000. I think. Can't remember which. Yeah, so I'm so old that we actually went to Iowa State, played a game. There you go. Snowed out after that. No drama for BB team and keep the sisters away. It'll be an excellent year. I understand what you're saying. I get it, and I don't think you're wrong on that. But when you say sisters, then depending on well, there's different meanings of that term. Well, anyhow, yeah. Anyhow, there are different meanings of that term. I'm going to go 31-21 Iowa State. We will be with you tomorrow for Raiderland Rewind coming up after the game. 30 minutes after the final whistle, give or take. We'll be ready for you. By the way, roll up your windows here in West Texas tonight. Looks like the rain's going to start falling, and we got that going for us. I'm going to archive this at the website, theraiderland.com. You guys can share it, put it out there, have a lot of fun, and then we'll be off and rolling. So you guys are the best. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll do the Iowa State stuff maybe on the rewind tomorrow because I have a feeling we might not want to talk about the game a whole lot. So we'll do that. You guys be well. Thanks for being out there. Thanks for supporting our great sponsors like Domino's Pizza here in the Hubaplex. Also, Sideline Provisions there at quarter for the old Cardinal Sports Center. You want to look good, you get yourself in some of that sideline provision wear. United Supermarkets handling all the communications. You want awesome rocking. This is a Pearl Snap shirt, by the way. Hold on. See that? Yeah. That's a Pearl Snap shirt. You want that? You want that? Go to Boot City. One money, save a mile outside the West Loop. They're awesome people. Tell Cody we said thanks. All right, we're out of here. Let the rain begin. Let the football begin. Let's have some fun on the weekend. And we'll see you tomorrow. Follow us on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. We do a lot of stuff on Twitter on game day Saturday. So follow us on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. And then subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube. Even if you don't watch it there, just subscribe. You get the idea. And then our Facebook page, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. All right, see you tomorrow.